Howdy. This is the Princess. Not the little Princess. The brand is Princess. That's the label. Um, it's a really nice guitar. The main thing about the guitar is that it has a very unique sound. It's the original bracing. It has like a lot of reverb built in. Tone is really nice. This is one of a ladder brace guitar. It's how Stellas were made. Virtually all these parlor guitars in the 20s and teens were made with ladder bracing. There'd be a brace, a thick, rich plate, and a brace. And another brace here, a brace here. That's all you get. This thing has been in limbo for 2 years. I sold this guitar for $520, and he had a problem with the binding, so I gave him a $50 refund, and then 2 years later he was interested in some guitars I was selling, so he also mentioned that he was having trouble with this guitar. I think that's about the first time I heard about it. The strings were buzzing or something. So I gave him a full refund. I gave him the rest of the refund. I think that was $470. So it's a total of $520. And I saw an email from the people he was working with, and they were referring to the neck bending backwards. And so I checked that out. And indeed, the neck is bent backwards from about between the 4th and 5th frets. It starts to drop back, and it's low about 8 to 10 thousandths. The solution, one of their solutions was to try to really heat the pee-pee out of this, and that's not a good idea. And remember, most necks bow this way. This one went backwards. You get an old guitar, the neck is probably straight. And many of them, after these were built with no truss rods, probably. But many of them are straight. There might be a weirdness here where the neck is kicked up, and if you reset the neck, it'll still be straight. The main thing is, when you get wood that's beyond 50 years old, it takes a set. It's like an old person, you know, with their back bent over. You can't straighten that back, you'll break their bones. Wood, over time, tone woods anyway, guitar woods, noticeably increase in their tensile strength, their resistance to bending. And I call it taking a set. I'm sure other people have. Once that, and it happens over time. It can't happen any other way. You can't bake wood and make it happen. So when you get a guitar this old, let's say it was bent the other way and you bent it back with heat. Well, it's going to bend again. So the way that I highly recommend you treat slight variations, bends, especially in necks, is pull the frets, level the fretboard, and refret it. It'll be perfect, and it won't bend. It won't bend. This neck, once this neck is strung up, it doesn't bend. It won't bend. And right now, it is level. When it's strung up to pitch, when I push down here and here, there's like 2/1000ths of an inch, 3/1000ths. Some people want more, but this neck is. Anyway, they then recommended installing a two-way truss rod. A normal truss rod will just take care of the front bend and straighten it out and pull it back a little. This one they wanted to be able to pull up, so it takes a two-way truss rod. So they want to take the fretboard off, mill a freaking honking slot in here, and That's going to cost $400 to $500, I'm imagining, because somewhere along the line, fret work is going to need to be done after you put, oh man, don't do that. So I got the guitar back. Basically, it's a Princess. I figured I paid $520 ransom for the Princess to get her back at. And anyway, this was going on for 2 years. Like, oh, it buzzes, take it in. Oh, this is what we can do. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, it buzzes, take it in. So I fixed this guitar in 4 or 5 hours. It needed the frets leveled. Now remember, this is back down 8 to 10 thousandths. Let's be pessimistic and say 10. These frets are new. It's a new ebony fretboard with new frets. They're 50 thousandths of an inch tall. The ideal fret height, in my opinion, is 40. So I got 10 thousandths to work with. So what you end up doing is, now it was also dead level from here to the very end. Most of these guitars have what you call fall off. So what I did was I leveled these frets. I made them, in other words, I took off pretty much nothing here, nothing here, a little bit more here, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until I probably took a little off of here. No, this is been, anyway, just by filing the frets, I got this level to plus or minus 2 thousandths of an inch, right up to here. Now, because this one doesn't get touched. Remember, I'm trying to get that straight line. I use a straight edge of the feeler gauge, 3 thousandths of an inch thick. It's less than the thickness of a piece of paper. And when I'm done, it won't go over here. Anyway, I put it through my process. I bought this guitar. Somebody did all this work, and I looked at all the work and read what he did, and it was all really good. And when I played the guitar, it had very low action and no buzz. And I documented that in a video. The original demo of this video is at my YouTube site. You can see me playing it. Somehow this neck it might have been bent all along. The guy who got it, just plain outrageous, just like, so it was going to buzz almost no matter what. This guitar wasn't meant for that. So anyway, I've leveled the frets, and in a few places here, where I've gone down, the thing was like at 035. I expected to be 040. Well, it was 035. So I take 5 thousandths out of the fret area, the space in between with 220 sandpaper, 320. Now you've got full fret height everywhere. No violent actions taken to the guitar. And now I must say that 4 to 5 hours of my time is worth $200. I put 200 more bucks of my time into this guitar. I'm going to sell it for 620 bucks. There's more to the story. I've actually got 620 bucks into this guitar, and I'm not going to make any money. But it's going to a person who has 3 of my guitars. He knows what they do and what they're like, and he really likes his guitar. So most likely, this guitar is going to a good home. And that's more important than money. The whole thing is, it's not about money. It's about the guitar. This guitar is like a person. And he needed a good home. I think it's going to happen. It's part of my job. Feels okay. Anyway, I'll play it for a while. This guitar is very loud. It's one of the loudest parlor guitars you'll find, and it's one of the loudest acoustic guitars that you'll find, believe it or not. I'm playing with my fingernail, and I ain't whamming on it either. This is a really amazing guitar. finish is, if you watch Antiques Roadshow and stuff, this is pre-lacquered. So that means it was shellac, bug poop and alcohol. When shellac ages, in some cases, it begins the micro-crack process, but it becomes much finer in grain than the lacquer chitney. And when it gets to a certain growth point, it's called craquelure. This has achieved craquelure and almost a complete patina, except by the neck. In its travels, since it's left me, it has gotten a scratch right here in the neck. The original craquelure finishes here, but not here. And I believe this neck, it looked a little narrow. It's 1 11/16. It's a 1/16 of an inch shy from 1 3/4, which most parlor guitars are. I've spread the strings out. I was able to do that because the neck is getting wider really fast, so you can play your full G here without worrying about it going off the edge and all like that. But it's not too loud here. Let's see here. I play a standard repertoire. I am documenting the sound of the vintage guitars that I get a hold of, and the guitars that I build that are, in most cases, highly modified vintage guitars. So I did document this, and it was really wonderful the first time I did it. Oops. So here's the bench after the thrash on the Princess. There's where the body was. And this is the residue of removing material from the fretboard in between the frets that were filed low. And just various forms of, there's the strings. Anyway, we clean up now and go on to taking pictures. So we're basically just listening to the tone. Don't listen to my playing. This hand is sharp. I went to demo this guitar and found that the intonation in the bass string was off, so I made a new saddle. And now it's wonderful.
like my recording volume is a little low, so we'll do it again. Hot, hot. So, I'm thinking the guitar solos, but I really would like to document the sound. So I'll be playing a tuned concert shortly. It's in open E flat right now. Why? Because the string pull will be almost identical to the concert tune. Name that tune. Sitting in a 747 just watching those clouds roll by. I'm dreading being sitting in a big chair down in Arizona. Realize you're right off and it's too hard. The guitar has its reverb is built into the guitar. It's just the way it The neck is 1 11/16. It's not 1 3/4. I think when this is a new ebony fretboard, I'm pretty sure. And when the guy put it on, he must have taken this down to 1 11/16. I've spread the strings out, so it's pretty close to the 1 3/4 that you'd get on the string spread is, but you know. It's something to mention, that's for sure. I just thought I'd check it and found that it was less than I thought it would be. Okay, it's tuned regular now. It's a very loud guitar, and anytime I'm playing it, if you close your eyes, I'm sure you're not going to hear a parlor guitar. You're going to hear something like a concert or OM guitar. It does, it's, you know, it's a small-bodied guitar, but Jesus. Full D. Full G. Bear with me. Excuse me, it's me. I've never played this chord. C. I'm not going to try the F. No. I think the F chord's why I went to open tunings. playing. Right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's see here. And on the way up, I can't go in. Anyway, there's your standard tuning played by an amateur. I think it sounds great. Action's real low on the treble side and about 9, 8 on the bass side. It could go lower, but depends on style. It has a deep tone. It's almost the top. If this had a birch top, it would be a lot different.